Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is July 1st, 2019. We'll call this meeting order at 7:30. And call the roll, please.
Sure, Mayor Ryan. Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Zielinski?
Here.
Trustee Juarez? Here. Trustee McLaughlin?
Here.
Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Trustee Nava Esparza? Here. Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we have some officer reports starting. I'll start myself. A couple of things I wanted to let the board and the public know. Some things that are going on in the village right now. Choices, things that need to be done by my office and actually the building commissioner right now too. He's running late. He had another meeting before this one. Last week, I just want to let the board know we're going to spend a small amount of money to be compliant with what we asked in court regarding a home that doesn't have any running water. We've reached out for a senior citizen to try and help them through township services, plows, you name it. Everybody's been involved with this person, and you can't live in a house that doesn't have running water. And right now he hasn't had running water in a few years, that kind of thing. So Attorney Joe Kankar has been helping us in this matter, and we gave the homeowner 90 days to clean his house up because the house is basically deplorable on the inside. It's in a nice neighborhood, and he wasn't compliant. He tried, he didn't get there. So I just want to let the board know that before we can take this to the next level, we have to basically determine if the house is uninhabitable, because we don't know. We have to actually get in to evaluate all the utilities, the water, the sewers, you name it, and so forth then too. This particular senior has had help from CETA and many other agencies, some churches, you name it, but we are going to have to spend, Roger got me some pricing to clean this house up, because again, toilets don't work, you name it, and it's in pretty bad shape. We're looking to spend between $5,000 and $7,000 just to clean this house up. We're certainly going to ask for this payment back from the individual. I did look at tax records today. He has been making his tax payments and so forth, so he does have some sort of revenue coming in. I'm not sure how we're going to get this back. We can certainly lien the property to do so, but before we can go back to court, we have to determine the condition of the house. And the only way to do that is by cleaning the thing up first. We're going to have an official company do that. Joe, does that sum it up as best as, or how do you
Yeah, I mean, basically it was a health safety case issue where, I mean, honestly, you couldn't even move in this guy's house. He had stuff everywhere, hoarder, no plumbing, no water. So we went into court. We got an order saying that he couldn't reside in the house. He had to clean it up, but the order also gave us the authority to do the work and lien the house and assess our costs against the house should we take it. So the idea now, I think, is to really clean up the actual debris and junk and garbage that's in the house and see where the actual structure stands. If it is dangerous, meaning, you know, the structural members are weak or whatever, then we go for a demolition. If not, we need to take a look at what we do next. But either way, we can lien the house and we can foreclose on the house if need be. So
this is something that was brought to my attention about a year ago, and Joe's office has been very good at working with us on this issue yet too, and we've tried everything we can to make this person compliant, and certainly just issuing citations, it isn't working. You know, we have to take this to the next level. So it's in pretty bad shape. I just want to let the board know that I am going to have to spend some money in order to do this, and certainly, as the Attorney Joe Kankar says, we'll lien the property if necessary if we can't collect. So we'll do what we can in the interest of health and obviously that community. Last week also I had to call out again, the building commissioner, he'll be here in a little bit. He had another meeting earlier, but I had another home about a half a block away from here on 123rd Place. That's been foreclosed on, abandoned for some time. We've tried to work with the bank. The bank hasn't been very responsive, and they just refused to maintain this house. So again, we have to take action against properties like these. The soffit and fascia was falling off one side of the house. I went out there and looked at it, and I can see squirrels and whatnot trying to get into the roof of the house. So I had a board-up service come out last week and actually replace the soffit and fascia on the house, again, to protect those residents over there. We can't create a haven for critters. We're having the same problem with a few people that I got an email from one guy the other day that Chief Miller and I are working with. He wanted to invoke his Fourth Amendment right, saying that this backyard is his sanctity and everything. He's not cutting his grass and all that kind of thing. I'm like, great, sir. If we let the whole neighborhood do that, just think of the haven we would, allow. So we're doing everything on a practical basis. And again, I've got to take this to the next level, and just issuing municipal violation tickets just doesn't do it. We have to take action, and certainly we'll take the necessary action to collect our monies back yet too. But I just want to keep everybody informed that these have been problems. I went over and looked today at that mobile gas station over at 127th and Pulaski. He's got his the doors halfway up on his car wash, and we're trying to get him to lock that thing up and so forth, and he's not very responsive. So I'm going to give him one more chance tomorrow. I'll have a board-up company go out and lock it up for him. We're not going to create an opportunity for people to take shelter in corners like that and so forth. And too, we got enough things to take care of and looking after the community. We don't have to look over property like that then too. What else did I have in here? Please be aware that I put on here. Oh, got a notice today. Some of these new laws. No, obviously, none of us are happy about the gas tax. That speaks for itself. That's. But also keep in mind that as of today, I got a memorandum to inform us that of the recent changes to the Illinois Prevention of Tobacco Use by Minors, effective today, July 1st, 2019, the act will be renamed the Prevention of Tobacco Use by Persons Under 21 Years of Age Act. As the name change indicates, the General Assembly and the Public Act 101-2 effectively raises the age of persons who can legally purchase tobacco and similar products from 18 years to 21 years old now. Additionally, the Act expands the types of products prohibited from sale or distribution to persons under 21 years old, and now explicitly includes electronic cigarettes and alternative nicotine products. There are penalties for both sellers and buyers. Also, sellers and distributors of such products must now verify that the purchaser is at least 21 years old by, among other possible verification means, requiring photographic proof of age from any person who appears to be younger than 30. The Act amends other related statutes similarly, deleting references to minors and substituting references to 21 years old as the minimum age to purchase tobacco and related products as noted. As an enforcement matter, however, the Act has specifically deleted prohibitions against underage possession of tobacco or related products and eliminated the penalties for the possession of tobacco by minors that currently exist in the Act and other statutes, such as what's in the juvenile court. So as a result, we recommend a review of your municipal code and ordinances so that any necessary amendments can be made, including the adjustment or elimination of possession violations that may be inconsistent with the new state law. So we need to take a look at that, and certainly, Joe, I know you guys will be looking at that.
I already sent it to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Oh, that's right. I apologize. You did. We're going to talk about that at next week's committee meeting. And last, I had on here, just as a reminder, we'll post this out on the board. My assistant Becky had a great report the other day from Sertoma. Does their annual cruise for a cause, and this is Saturday, July 13th, on the Odyssey boat downtown, and you board at 7:30 p.m. and you return 11:30 p.m. And this is a benefit to help Sertoma. It's $150 per person. Includes eat, drinks, entertainment, and a fireworks show off a Navy Pier. So again, we'll post this out in the lobby, in the hallway here. And Becky said he's doing pretty well with this so far, huh? Okay. First on your agenda, I had the approval to allow the Father Perez Knights of Columbus Council number 1444 to hold their Tootsie Roll Drive fundraising on September 20th and 21st of 2019 at 111th and Cicero and 115th and Pulaski. I also had number 2 was the approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving a Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 11941 South Cicero Avenue, PIN number 24-27-100-068 in the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois. And that's all I have for this evening. You have the clerk's report? Oh, go ahead.
Item number 2 for you, item number 2 for under fire for Trustee Murphy. Is there a reason Ordinance and Legislation Committee was left out of the loop with being copied on the emails?
The, no, you know what? It could actually go either way. You know, you could put that under ordinance and legislation. And most of the time, when I guess it was myself making the presentation to ask for the 6B tax incentive for said properties, so that's why we placed it back under my report. On the fire report, obviously it was relating to the same thing too. I mean, in other words, under fire prevention and protection. I suppose, yeah, if we go to ordinance, you know what, in the future, we'll look at that a little closer, and we can direct it over, and so, because we actually did do the same on ordinance legislation. We brought that over, amending the alcoholic beverages and whatnot and stuff then, too.
I'm just wondering if that's the only ordinance we're going to see under ordinance and legislation, if everybody
you know,
else is going to
like
take care of their
anything
own
else,
thing.
yeah.
That's all.
So, no problem.
Trustee Zelinski, the one under fire, all that's been approved, it's just a formality for the attorney to draw up the paperwork and for the signature. Everything's been approved.
Well, I understand, but as a chairperson for the committee, I've never seen anything on it, and I'm sure the members from the committee haven't either, so.
Committees, it's been a while since it was brought up to the committee itself and to a discussion of the committee meeting.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Well, this is the clarity part of the signed formal agreement or the document, if you will.
Chief, you said that the format wasn't, we voted to approve this once already.
Everything that's on there has been voted. Now it's just the formality of creating the actual ordinance, so it's put on the website the correct way.
Okay.
And for other trustees to sign the last part of it that was approved back in April, March or April, somewhere right around there, that's all it is.
Okay.
I understand once fire committee, you know, decides what to do, once it goes into ordinance, I just figured it would actually be switched over to us. So. Thank you.
Yeah. Make sure that any of the future ones will go.
Okay, so clerk's report?
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. Approval of the May 2019 motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $39,103.30, and the presentation and approval of the May 6th, 2019 Board of Trustee meeting minutes. That is all, Mayor Ryan.
Okay, thanks. Attorney's report, we have Joe Kankar with us.
No report, Your Honor.
All right, Joe. Engineer's report, Will?
We're just trying to get the pre-construction meeting set up for the NFT Reserve Estate. Construction.
Will, did we approve the contractor on that yet, too?
Yeah, it's Iroquois paving.
That's right, because I saw it come across my desk, but, okay, thank you.
The contracts are actually at IDOT,
It's what?
waiting approval.
Oh, it's IDOT approval waiting? Okay. How long do you think, ballpark,
Should be
before we
within
get
the next
started?
week.
Okay.
To get the pre-con set up. So probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks before they actually start.
Start work, okay. All right, thanks, Will. Public forum, would anyone in the audience wish to address the board this evening? Come on up, sir. Kent, do you have the mic working, Kent? Yeah. Could you come up here, sir? We ask it for the record. Our meetings get recorded.
I apologize. You have to really hold this. You have to hold it.
You got to put it right up to your mouth, yeah.
I live by the Quarry Plaza on Cicero.
Okay.
It's got, the Home Depot and LA Fitness. They have semi-trucks coming in there. and they park in there, and they'll stay there like all night. The parking isn't the problem. I don't care who parks in there.
Mm-hmm.
But they run their engines. We live right, our backyard is basically right, that's a residential area, if
Right.
you know how that's set up there. You can't, it wakes you up at night. Sometimes they'll bring their trailers in there. They have these refrigeration units on them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll run them all night. I can't go out in my backyard now. I
Okay.
can't sit on my deck. You can't sleep. What can be done about that?
Be honest with you, you're probably the first person that's kind of brought this up, unless, Chief, have you got other complaints on it yet, too?
There are signage over there that they can only deliver during certain hours. There's really no reason for a freezer truck to be over there. So we'll just have the guys go through, and there is an ordinance for them to be running that kind of stuff overnight in violations of the sign and stuff like that.
You know, I appreciate you bringing that to us, because I live on that block, too, but I'm on the other side of the street, so I'm not hearing what you hear.
Oh, it's terrible. When
Okay,
the whole house is rumbling.
okay.
You know? Not
Yeah.
all of them do it. And I have no trouble, they can park there. I don't care if they park there. But don't let them engines run like that.
Sure.
It's so annoying, and you
Yeah.
can't, it wakes you up at night.
Chief,
You can't go in your backyard.
can I ask you, can you make a courtesy call over to the management there and remind them of that then, too? Otherwise, we're,
Yeah, we'll let them know. We're running into similar issues.
okay,
So we're kind of well versed in
okay. Thanks, Chief. You know what, sir, if you would, could you just put your name on there, just to
Sure.
say that you spoke to us tonight? Anything else, too? Anything else you wanted to say?
No, that's basically, it's just, and it's getting worse. I think the word gets around with these truck drivers, and there's more and more coming up. Wednesday night, you'll see them all piling in there now for the 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
And I can't even use my backyard anymore.
Occasionally, late at night, I can hear them a little bit, but certainly you're closer than I am and stuff,
It's
too.
bad, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
No problem. No, we'll look into that for you, sure. Anybody else? Sure, come on up. Yeah, like I said, you got to put that kind of close to your mouth, that's all.
Just wanted to come and introduce ourselves. My name is Keith Kroll. I am the new commander of VFW Post 450. Want to introduce myself and look forward to working with you guys as a community. And big thing is I want to get us back involved more in the community. I know it really hasn't been that way in a while, so I want to try and work together and bring all that back full circle so we can help each other out in both of our endeavors.
And I'm Danielle Kroll. I'm the new auxiliary president over at VFW Post 450, and also his wife. We're the first husband and duo team over there. But we're residents of Alsip. We've been here for 5 years. Our kids go to the schools, so we just want to get the organization back into the community.
I appreciate that, folks. So, Keith, so are you replacing Rich Leishman?
I am, yes.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Yeah, certainly. I'll stop by, I'll get you my card and everything if you need me for anything too, yeah. So, no, you guys are always played a big part in our community here, and he and I, I've only been in office 2 years now, but we've been taking turns back and forth, utilizing both of our properties for, Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and kind of went back and forth. And when we were duplicating the services, we both agreed it didn't make any sense, but we got a beautiful veteran plaza, and as well as the memorial out in front of your place yet, too, so I'll work with you on that and something, too, okay? Yeah,
Thank you,
okay.
welcome, congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, well, thank you. Then we'll go to the standing committee reports. Finance Committee, Trustee McGlohan.
First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated June 21st, 2019, totaling $393,264.25. Next, I have a request for approval of accounts payable dated July 1st, 2019. From the recap, General Fund, $57,579.75. Road and Bridge, $19,380.07. MFT, $1,857.66. Pulaski Road Corridor TIF, $6,500 even. Water and Sewer, $12,023.58. And Heritage, $18,224.77, for a grand total all funds of $115,565.83. Finally, I have a request for approval of the job description and hiring of a finance associate for the Finance Department. This position was appropriated in the FY20 budget. That's all I have.
Yeah, real quick, we had a question last week. Mr. Alvano, you were on vacation last week and so forth when I brought this up. Did anybody have any questions for Kent on that?
Yeah, a lot of those duties on the job description were a lot of the things that you take care of now. What will you be taking care of? Or what new endeavors will you be taking on?
So it's in that note, the 3-page document that I gave, but we're having a hard time keeping up just with straight operations. So some of the stuff we used to be able to do, we can't. We don't download all the data to track all the things that we can. The amount of operational stuff is just starting to overwhelm us. The TIF reports are becoming harder and harder to file. The police and fire pension funds have Illinois Department of Insurance. Those are becoming harder to file. There's a new thing called GATA, which is Grant Accountability and Transparency Act. That is huge. That's actually going to be a fraction of an FTE. It's so big, the amount of stuff that's coming through that, and it's hitting us. So we're having a hard time just keeping up with operations. You are correct. Some of the stuff would move off of my plate. Some of the statistical stuff, I have to go searching all over to get the stuff in order to do the audit. The audit has become more complicated now, just because that's what the market demands. So I spend literally months trying to get some statistical data that needs to go in there, and some of that I'm going to transition to the new person. What we're not doing is all sorts of planning type of issues and more policies. So with the GATA, you need internal control policies, you need cash management policies, things to prevent anyone possibly from committing fraud, and you actually need additional people in order to make sure you're keeping an eye on each other's stuff. And that's sort of federal standards run through the state. We just don't have the people to do that. We used to have a lot more people here. So I will also try to, and it's going to take a while to do it, but there's a number of projects, including our capital improvement plan and our budget. They're numbers. You guys have been through the budget process. It's spreadsheet after spreadsheet. There's no story there. There's no indication of what the board is trying to accomplish and how this particular budget or this capital plan helps us to get to where the board wants to go. So there's all sorts of strategic planning and as well as explanation in the budget. That stuff just doesn't exist, and you guys can pick it up and understand what's going on in the budget with the numbers because you go through all the budget hearings and you hear each of the departments come up and give an explanation of all of their items. But it would be very difficult for a resident or a bondholder who didn't attend all of those meetings to know what's going on. So we need to make these so this is more accessible to people. Kind of goes a little more with the transparency stuff I've been pushing for a number of years in finance. And I think we just kind of need to move from reacting to being able to plan properly and prevent, do the internal controls, prevent fraud, etc. We don't even have all of our accounts set up the way we want them with positive pay. I mean, these are basic fraud type of things, but the list is just so large. It's time to start tackling.
We having a problem all of a sudden with fraud?
With what?
With fraud here?
No, we're not. But the last thing you or I want to do is explain if it does happen. And we don't have, you have to have a segregation of duties in order to do that. The finance department used to be 4 or 5 full-time people, and right now it's 2.5. There is nobody to do the segregation of duties that you would need to do. So it cycles. It's been at the low mark for quite a while. We don't have any admins anymore. Payroll, accounts payable are the same person, and now it's a part-time job. They used to be separate. We used to treasurer and finance director used to be separate. Full-time jobs are the same. It worked for a while, but the accounting rules, we've had 20 accounting rules changes since I got here, and some of them have been really big. And right now I'm struggling through one right now where the actuaries and the auditors don't understand some of the fact that the ACA's excise tax, which we call the Cadillac tax, needs to be in those numbers. So I'm working with them trying all sets to understand what the accounting rules are supposed to be, and I'm trying to educate them to do that. Well, this is 3 different parties, and it takes away from the time just to get operations done. So between these types of things, we're having a hard time getting operations done, let alone moving to the next level. As a matter of fact, in some areas, as I said, we're sort of slipping in that we're not even tracking some of the things that we used to track, the state shared revenues, et cetera, as those monies come in. So we just don't have the staffing right now. And I have no reason, and to go back to your fraud question, the auditors always ask me, do you have any indication that there might be fraud in any departments? And I have to admit, in other municipalities, I've answered that question with detail. I might not know a Coke machine off in another department where that money's going to, or I might not know. I actually, for the last number of years, have never answered that question yes here. Whereas in my past, I've usually answered, well, there might be here, I'm not sure about this. So no, I don't have any reason to suspect there's any fraud here. But sometimes it comes out of left field. You might not know it. And we need to do everything we can to, you always go to improve efficiency unless you're doing internal controls. That's less efficient, but it saves all of us.
Okay.
Well, one of the things I didn't hear one of the things I was hoping to hear was for the last 2 years you've been going on and on about OPEB.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that with a new person at your side there that you'd be able to actually complete what you said you were going to.
And I probably should bring to Finance Committee where I'm at on that. I actually have been working on that a little bit in the past couple months, and I have been making progress on it. It's still a very large project. It's not a 1 week just nose to the grindstone and it's done. It's a big, big project. Right now I'm working on whether or not, because it's not in the state statutes in the same way the pension plans, I'm working on whether or not you can invest in bond mutual funds in a way that you can't do it in the police and fire pension funds. They have to invest in individual bonds. So I'm having to do that research. There's a lot of that kind of research. That's just one example of a huge project. So I am working on that. It will definitely, when I talk about all of the planning documents, et cetera, that's actually after OPEB. OPEB's at the top of that list. But it is not an immediate project. But I can update, and Finance Committee, I can update where I am on it.
You know, the other thing, just very quickly, keeping in mind, too, trustees, is that I've seen a lot of miscellaneous tasks that get pushed toward finance way, much like the clerk's office, where we get these monster FOIAs every so often. I've seen them lose up to a couple of days trying to do research work and whatnot then, too. So things like that.
That's a good point, because the really big FOIAs, they're coming more and more frequently. Same with legal stuff. We get requests from legal or from insurance companies, and when they need that data now. So whatever you thought you were working on today or tomorrow or both days, you're no longer working on it. You have to get it for a potential suit or for negotiations or for something. That's actually a lot faster now than when I got here. And my understanding from talking to people is the FOIA requests are going to be coming faster and faster as more of it's becoming commercial. And they're hitting the finance department up for a lot of that information because they go around and selling it. They're nationwide companies doing this now.
Well, again, I had to ask, anybody else have a question?
I just had one more. The last time we had approved one of these people to come on with you, it was a temporary person. we're going for a permanent person this time?
Yes.
Yeah,
So they'll have full benefits. Is there going to be any kind of trial period or anything for this person? Or is it going to be something to where if it just isn't working out, we have to bite the bullet?
Yeah, I mean, that's through the normal HR process. If someone doesn't work out, we go through I'll go immediately to HR and we'll talk about it, and we'll probably have to document it, and if it's early on, we handle it early on. So it's not done in the same way as through a CBA. It's done through the normal HR process.
Kent, is that a typical 90-day
I think we have something in the employee manual on that, and I don't remember what that is.
Okay.
But that's why, as I said, I would be going straight to HR and having her help me through that. But I believe the employee manual had some materials on that.
And are you the one that finds and hires, or does that go through?
No, I make the ultimate decision, but the HR manager is going to be the one doing the posting and the initial looking. I worked with her quite a bit on the job description and what the projects were, and what the skill sets are. So I'm sort of in the middle of doing audit and some OPEB work as well, and so I don't have the time. But if she comes up with 1, 2, or 3 candidates, I'm happy to sit down and interview. But she's going to be doing the initial work.
Okay. Trustee McLaurin, anything else on finance?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Next, we had the Fire Committee, Trustee Murphy.
I have approval for the Alsip firefighters to hold a Fill the Boot Tag Day to benefit the Muscular Dystrophy Association on September 13th, 2019, with rain dates of July 12th, 2019, and September 20th, 2019, exclusively at the intersection of 127th and Pulaski and 115th and Cicero. Dates may change due to weather. Actually, the date did change from the June 28th was canceled due to personnel, and so that will be rescheduled on July 12th, so that rain day will go into effect. And number 2, I have approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 9 Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 1 in General Section 9-6 Cost Recovery Program of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next, the Police and Traffic Safety, Trustee Dalzell.
The approval of May 2019 Police Department Activity Report. And I'd like to read in a couple letter recognitions. Chief has given to Detective Paul Mikologic and Nick Yodelis. And both of these gentlemen, detectives, were involved on 31st of May 2019, approximately 15:56 hours. Detective Yodelis and Mikologic conducted a traffic stop for a traffic violation the area of 119th or 115th and Pulaski. During the course of the stop, detectives detected the odor of cannabis emanating from the interior of the vehicle, inquired with the driver and the sole occupant of their observance. Detectives ordered the driver out of the vehicle in order to further investigate the odor. As the driver exited the vehicle, he tendered one small bag of cannabis to Detective Yodelis. Detective Mikologic conducted a search of the vehicle, which time he located 22 caliber Browning, fully loaded, 1 round chambered in the glove compartment of the vehicle. Driver admitted to the knowledge of the firearm and informed detectives that he was on parole. Driver was subsequently charged with 1 count of unlawful use of a weapon by a felon, as well as a parole violation. Your actions during the incident are worthy of special mention and recognition. Your attention to the details of the incident speaks highly of your dedication to aggressively detect criminal activity and arrest criminal offenders. It also proudly shows your deep commitment to helping this agency accomplish its mission and goals. And please accept my personal congratulations on a job well done, Chief Jay Miller. That's all I have, sir, and great job.
Yeah, really, great job, Chief. Thank you. Next, we have the Public Work and Boat Launch, Trustee Juarez.
No report.
Thank you. Next, Sewer and Water, Trustee Nava Esparza.
No report, Mayor.
Next is the Building and Health Department, Trustee Zelinski.
I have an approval for the residents of West Fay Lane to have a block party on Saturday, August 24th, 2019, from 10 a.m. until 11 p.m. with a DJ. Also, I have an approval for the residents of Lee Road to have a block party on Saturday, July 6th, 2019, from 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. with a DJ. And also, I have, the Health Department had 52 complaints and wrote 49 citations this past month there. Okay. That's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you. Next, the Human Resource and Insurance, Trustee Murphy.
No report tonight, Mayor.
All right, Special Committee Reports, Economic Development, Trustee Nava Esparza.
No report, Mayor.
I think next, Trustee, do we get a note, is that next week? Are we anticipating the firewater guys to come back in?
I haven't heard anything from
I believe
the
so. I
consultant.
think it's our next meeting on July 8th.
Okay.
Okay. Next, Village Properties, Trustee McLaurin.
No report this evening, Mayor.
All right. And we'll have Ordinance Legislation, Trustee Zelinski.
I have an approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip amending Chapter 4 Alcoholic Beverages and Liquor Control of the Alsip Municipal Code to provide for a liquor license classification for certain nonprofit organizations and regulation pertaining thereto. That's all I have tonight.
Okay. Next, IT. Thank you. IT, Trustee Dalzell.
No report, Mayor.
All right. Planning and Zoning and Licenses, Trustee Juarez.
I have an approval of a list of licenses dated June 10th through June 24, 2019.
Okay, thank you. Any presentations, petitions, or communications, trustees?
No.
May I? Thank you, Mayor Ryan. First of all, I'd like to thank the ladies in the clerk's office, Erica, Tiffany, and Elisa, for their diligent work the past 2 months with village stickers. It's been kind of crazy. Mondays have been very, very long. Friday was a very long day as well. Segueing into your village stickers were due yesterday. Late fees start July 11th. Please come in and get them taken care of. Lastly, from my family to everyone in town, we'd like to wish you a happy and safe 4th of July. Also would like to encourage the residents to be diligent with their neighbors who may have issues with fireworks, whether it's a personal issue or a pet issue, to just be mindful of the safety of those around you. And that is all, Mayor Ryan. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I'll bring it up once more about the local count committees for municipalities. If we're going to create one, our timeline and so forth for establishing one. There's about $29 million that have been allocated through an advisory group through the Department of Human Services, and other municipalities are creating local count committees to try to be proactive and perhaps tapping in once an RFP comes around, if it comes around. So I'm not sure if when we would create one or if other...
Actually, I filled out an application today for some funding, actually, for us, too, at the same time, and that's what I said. We're in the preliminary stages of putting together a committee for this right now, then, too, so we'll be getting back with the board on this next week at committee and trying to hammer out a template as far as what's expected with that, then, too, okay?
Okay. And just updates that I have, trying to be proactive and try to look at resources at a pro bono rate in regards to local technical assistance to municipalities in regards to economic development, planning or strategic planning, updating comprehensive plans and so forth. So I have reached out to the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning to see if we could tap into some free local technical assistance programs and also other RFPs that we might be eligible in regards to tapping into.
Yeah.
Very good.
CMAP is the one who funded the comprehensive plan to begin with, and I know they started by only giving those grants out to communities that didn't have a comprehensive plan, but they may be to the point where they're kind of doing it for refreshes, and it's been a few years, at least almost a complete change of board members. There's a few that didn't. So there might be something there, but originally they only did it for new communities.
The application I did today was more or less just based on need. Like, what's your need for this and proposal?
She's talking for strategic planning for the complete counts. And on the complete counts, I know today South Suburban Mayors and Managers is also trying to do some sort of complete count, at least on the regional level. I don't know if Southwest Conference of Mayors is as well.
Yeah, the census is huge. We're going to do our best with that.
Before we discuss anything further, I just wanted to ask Joe Kankar a question about letter H. which was the approval for the fill the boot. Because initially there was not a date of July 12th in the original discussion last week that was shown as a rain date, do we need to correct this to be approval of the Alsip firefighters to hold a fill the boot tag day to benefit the Muscular Dystrophy Association on July 12th, 2019 and September 13th, 2019, with a rain date of September 20th, 2019, exclusively at the intersection of 127th and Pulaski and 115th and Cicero?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, what was on the agenda confused me, that we'd have something September 13th with a rain day of July 12th, so we could just do that on its face, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Mary, just
No,
want to
that's
make sure
okay, yeah.
before we
Yeah, and-
started to vote on something
No,
that
Trustee
wasn't.
Murphy, he mentioned it before the
Strike the
meeting,
word
and
rain dance.
again, because the June 28th date didn't work out, is why that July 12th date was in there.
Understand.
Trustees, does anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'd like to remove item G.
G as in George.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Then can I get a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Trustee Delzell, I'm going to give you the second on that.
I'll defer to Monica.
Okay. Roll call number 1 to establish the consent agenda as presented. Again, item number G as in George has been removed. Trustee Delzell.
Yes.
Delzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Nava Esparza.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish.
Can I get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda as presented. Filling in some information, letter B as in boy, approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 11941 South Cicero Avenue, PIN 24-27-100-068-0000 in the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois, will be ordinance number 2019-07-1. Letter E is in Edward, approval of a list of payroll dated June 21st, 2019, totaling $393,264.25. Letter F, approval of a list of accounts payable dated July 1st, 2019, totaling $115,565.83. Letter G has been removed. Letter H now reads approval for the Alsip firefighters to hold a Fill the Boot Tag Day to benefit the Muscular Dystrophy Association on July 12th, 2019, and on September 13th, 2019, with a rain date of September 20th, 2019, exclusively at the intersections of 127th and Pulaski and 115th and Cicero. Date may change due to weather. Letter I, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 9, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 1, in general, Section 9-6, Cost Recovery Program of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip will become ordinance number 2019-07-2. And lastly, letter L as in Larry, approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip amending Chapter 4, Alcoholic Beverages and Liquor Control of the Alsip Municipal Code to provide for a liquor license classification for certain nonprofit organizations and regulation pertaining thereto will become ordinance number 2019-07-3. Again, this is roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda as presented. Trustee Delzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Nava Esparza.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Very good. We'll go back to an item that was removed, letter G. This was the approval of a job description and hiring of a finance associate for the finance department. This position was appropriated for in the fiscal year 20 budget and reviewed by the HR manager. Trustee McLaurin, do you have a question?
No, I just wanted a separate vote, Mayor, as I don't feel that this position best serves our needs overall. I would rather see something more in the IT range that would help us streamline our reporting out of the system as opposed to just throwing another body at getting reports out of the system.
Okay. Can I get a motion and a second then, please?
Mayor, I'd make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call number 3 to approve letter G, approval of the job description and hiring of a finance associate for the finance department. This position was appropriated for in the fiscal 20 budget and reviewed by the HR manager. Again, roll call number 3. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
No.
Trustee Juarez.
No.
Trustee McLaughlin.
No.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Nava Esparza.
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we'll have the, does anyone have any unfinished business? Any new business? Then can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. We'll adjourn this meeting at 8:17, and please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.